So here I have chicken that I'm gonna bake in the oven. So I have my oven sheet pan here. Okay. In this case, I have a quartered chicken, sort of chicken thigh with the leg, if you will, right? I bought it like that, right? Sprinkle it with barbecue sauce, Old Bay seasoning, paprika, whatever you like. Season these guys. What I did here is I placed it on the sheet tray here, which will later go in the oven. I have my whole, I didn't cut them at all, whole tomatoes in here, like little cherry tomatoes, a little bigger than cherry size. And I have my potatoes. I didn't clean the skin. I washed them under cold water and I cut them in half. All of that placed in the same tray. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to drizzle it with some olive oil. So here I have extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to drizzle it all over the top. It doesn't have to be a lot of oil, because when the chicken starts cooking, chicken skin, if you guys know, is very greasy and very fat on its own. So it will produce more oil or more fat, if you will. So I'm preparing 2 dishes for tonight. One is the chicken, and the other dish will be fish. I have 3 different fish fillets that I'm gonna cook. Red snapper, we'll get to that. For my fish, I'm gonna prepare some flour, all-purpose flour, and seasoning mix. You can always choose different seasonings you want to put in your flour that you're gonna dip your fish into before you're gonna fry it. Today, I'm gonna go with just one seasoning because it replaces a lot of flavors and few seasonings at the same time. When you use this seasoning in particular for fish, you could use just that seasoning and that's all. Old Bay seasoning is what I'm going to use for my fish today. Usually it could be different every time you cook fish. You could use a variety of seasonings. So what I'm going to do here is, I would say if you use 3 cups of flour, depends how much fish you're cooking, right? You're going to need to dip your fish into the flour and fry it on a pan fried. So I used, like, let's say 2.5 cups of flour. I'll put like a 1.5 tablespoon worth of Old Bay seasoning. And I'm going to give it a good stir. I have now preheated my oven till it got to 320 degrees almost. Okay. I will put my chicken in there now. But I'd say keep the oven on high as it goes. Let it get to 450 or so. And the chicken cook in that temperature, the highest temperature that your oven goes for. Now for my fish, I'm gonna be frying some vegetables, pan frying them, sauteing them. So I prepared them already. I have yellow squash zucchini sliced like this. I have zucchini sliced the same way. I have peppers, all colors, black, green, red, green, yellow pepper. There you go. And this is your vegetable mix we're going to be preparing for the fish as a side dish. I got my mushrooms here. I got portobello mushroom, of course. Portobello is a good mushroom. I got white mushroom, white buttons. Okay. It's sitting here set aside. I prepared my pot that I'm going to cook my vegetables in. So I coated the pot with oil a little bit, olive oil. I'm going to put the fire on, heat the oil up a little bit, and then we'll put the vegetables in there. Now that my oil is hot enough, I'm going to put my vegetables in there. Remember guys, I'm cooking one vegetable dish, but I split it into 2 parts. I'm going to cook peppers, zucchini, and yellow squash first, then add mushrooms, because peppers, zucchinis, and yellow squash cook much longer than mushrooms do. Therefore, we're going to start cooking them first. What I have here is I have my fish sitting cleaned, washed, nothing else. That's a red snapper fillet, and that's white mink fish. Once I have cooked my vegetables for at least 10 minutes, depends on the mass. Again, guys, when you work with the mass, it depends on what mass you have. When I make my videos, it's when I'm speaking of how much, how long, time-wise, that means based on the portions I am making. In other words, if this was a little pot here with vegetables, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 3 minutes. It depends how much of it you're cooking, is how long it's gonna take to cook. Here, in this case, I cooked them on high medium heat for 10 minutes at least, 10 to 12 minutes. Now I'm ready to go ahead and add my mushrooms. Remember, because they cook faster, that's why we're gonna do this. Now we're ready to add them. And now we should have a beautiful balance of readiness. I've been cooking my chicken now for like 15-17 minutes on high 400 to 450 temperature. Let's see what happens. Look how beautiful it is. Remember, guys, convention oven. If you don't have it, if your oven is a regular oven at home, you want to put it on the highest it goes, 450, 500. Get it to very hot, then stick the chicken in there. Then your total time of cooking should not be more than 30 to 40 minutes if you want it crisp and cooked well. Here I have my plate ready for my fish. So I want to take my fish one by one, and I want to make sure it gets flour everywhere. President red snapper fillet, same procedure. Dip it in the flour. Remember, guys, this is not your regular flour. Remember what we did with it, right? This is seasoned flour. Once we thoroughly dipped it in the flour, it's ready to go in the pot. Here's my red snapper. When I cook a big fillet of red snapper like this, as I'm cooking, I want to pour some hotter oil on top of it, like this. Why? Because I don't want my top of the salmon or the red snapper be dry. I want it moist, so I want to pour the oil over it. Don't worry about the oil, guys. It needed because the fish comes out very good taste, flavorful, and it crisps up better when it's enough oil. If you work with clean oil at home, it is very clean and pure. It's not unhealthy for you guys. It will be just fine. When you take the fish out of this pan, you will place it on a paper towel, drain the oil as much as you can, and then put it in the plate. Very good.